What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Career Mode. Today we have got ourselves more games to come with this Brighton and Hove Albion side in what is to be our final season here with them before we move on to somewhere else. Now, plan of action for today. After a very strange episode last time out, you'll remember we played against Liverpool, beating them quite convincingly by, I think it was 5-1 in the end, and we followed that with an away defeat to Manchester United after picking up a red card on Ryan Sessegnon. So today's games were about trying to, I guess, get ourselves back into the Premier League swing of things. As you can see right here, we're playing against CSK Moscow. The plan was to just sim this one and see if we can get ourselves the win. We'd pretty much already secured our place in the next round of the Champions League, so our focus was to try and claw back the deficit we had in the Premier League. Because right at this very stage, we were in the top 4, but we were about 6 points off of top spot. So we needed to try and claw back the points as and when we could do it. And things didn't start off very easy at all. A home visit of Chelsea, a side that are in the top 4 as well, and are looking pretty dangerous themselves. So, I mean, we've got to try and get as many points as we can from today's episode. Because, like I said, the start we've had to the season with the side we've got, I was expecting much better. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The team we've got is probably one of the best sides we're going to have in this career mode, or up there with the best sides. Hence, we shouldn't really be struggling here. You can see we've gone with this lineup. Frankie Brown in goal, obviously. The back 4 the same. The midfield 2 the same. And then I think Martial led the line with Noah Godson playing at left wing. Chelsea side lines up like that. A very interesting side from Maurizio Sarri. Fabregas is still there as well. But we got underway at the Amex, feeling pretty confident about things, and it showed really from the offset. 21 minutes in, Odriozola going down the right before finding a cutback towards Vinicius Jr., and the Brazilian gave us a well-deserved lead. A really nice finish by all accounts as well. You remember he was one of the players I questioned after the last episode. In the defeat to Man United, he missed an unbelievable chance right at the depth to pick us up a single point. He skied his volley, and there was questions raised about Vinicius Jr., and those questions are still there, but he's somewhat answered it with a goal right there. He had to be composed, he had to find his finish, and he took one touch before finding that corner of the goal and made sure that we did have the lead here at the Amex. So for Chelsea, very, very weird start from them. They looked kind of happy to watch us go forward. It was somewhat like they were accepting a potential draw here, but then they grew out of their shell a little bit and they created their first chance. 32 minutes in, Fabregas here, good stuff. He finds Pasalic, whose shot is well saved by Frank Brown. Felt he should have held the ball, if I'm being totally honest with you. But it was a little bit of something from Chelsea, showing their intent, I guess you could say, that they weren't just going to sit back at 1-0 down. But in the second half, Vinicius Jr. causing problems, puts a great delivery in towards Noah Godson, and the American puts us 2-0 in front here. So that felt good. It really did, because as it stood here, there was all sorts of things going on. Yes, we won the lot, but we were quite, I'd say, a little bit tense. We didn't exactly feel that 1-0 was going to be enough. You guys have seen it before. It's very difficult when you're playing on the ultimate setting. They can get one chance from literally anywhere, hit it first time from the edge of the area, it can go in at any stage. So at 1-0, it was still a bit tense. So for us to get the second there from Noah Godson, especially from Vinicius Jr. making it as well, that felt good. 2-0 up in the game, heading towards 3 points. And even if Chelsea got a goal late on, I still felt that we were going to get the win here. Willian, though, testing again at Frank Brown. It came through a lot of bodies, but he was able to meet it with his chest and send it out for a Chelsea corner. But again, questions, why is he not able to at least do a little bit better with it? At least he put it out for the corner and not back into the danger area. But nevertheless, the 2-0 win in game number 1 here at the Amex gets us the 3 points we were looking for from today's game. Means that we do claw back some of those points that we were talking about at the beginning of today's episode. We're back into some Premier League action again, and we've got ourselves off with a good win to start it off with. Look at the results and look at the match facts, though. You can see 8 shots, 4 on target. That's only a 50% shot accuracy rate. In my opinion, for a side as strong as ours, that isn't good enough. We need to be at least getting 75%, I'd say. You've got to be hitting the target with those efforts, otherwise it's pointless. You saw it. We had 4 more shots overall than Chelsea, but they had exactly the same amount of shots on target as we did. On another day, they'd have won that game 2-0. So we need to get to be used of putting these shots on target at least. A little bit of pressure off, though, now, because we move into the Carabao Cup quarter-final. I said I'm not interested in this competition, but now we are in the quarter-final stage. We were playing away from home. I just didn't want to risk anything. You guys know how away sim sometimes goes, so I was thinking I can't really risk the sim. So we'll try and play this. We won't name our strongest side. There were still a lot of good players in there, though. Don't get me wrong. Odriozola being one, Balotelli being another. I did feel as though we were still going to get the result here, and it really did show the gulf in class. Odriozola finding Andres Pereira for him to put us 1-0 in front after 10 minutes. like I said, I was focused here because it was the quarterfinal. Admittedly, still not that bothered about the competition, but with it being away from home, didn't want to risk the sim. So I decided to play this. The golfing class, like I said, was there. There's not a lot. It's very, very difficult for lower league sides when you're in this stage of the competition to be contending with playing league football, then coming here and playing a Premier League side and the Carabao Cup. You know, kudos to Sheffield United who got here. But it's very, very, very tough for these lower league sides who maybe don't have enough squad depth and the quality of play that they require. So to even get to this stage for them is a very good, thing, and I congratulate them. But it's likely that they're going to go out of this stage, even though they put up a really good fight. 13 minutes in, they could have found an equaliser. A really, really driven move, if you will. But then Pereira here looks for Ollie Watkins. I have absolutely no idea how he hasn't scored. I really have no idea. I signed him in Season 1, and I expected big things from the former Brentford man. Let's put it this way, he hasn't really delivered. Now, that's not really down to just him. It's also myself getting used to the way that this team would play. Now we've got 2 good players for him to be getting in the team. But that chance right there, man, he's got to finish that. And we move into the next one. Izquierdo, deflected shot, goes all the way through towards Pereira, who shoots, scores, but is in an offside position. My argument here now, though, is that that defender actually plays the ball. He intends to block this ball. Therefore, him making a clear attempt to block that, technically speaking, it has touched the defender and not come through from Izquierdo. So the question remains, should it have been given offside against Pereira? I mean, it didn't largely matter because I knew we were going to dominate the game. Ollie Watkins now trying to find Pereira again with a cutback, and again, he failed to do so. Very frustrating from him. This time, though, he lays one onto Vinicius Jr., came off the bench, and he made no mistake with a finish to give us a second and pretty much wrap up our place in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. I don't know who awaits us, but it is going to be a double-leg header for that one. We will find out in due course, but this was just a professional performance. That's what I was looking for in the night. Conceding no goals, dominating the play, not giving Sheffield United much of a look in the game, and I was glad to say we did just that. Vinicius Jr. obviously coming off the bench, like I said earlier, shows it. I mean, if we can bring off a player and substitute them with Vinicius Jr. on our bench, and Sheffield United don't have a player starting of that quality, it's always going to be a tough night for them. Again, though, the dominance showed. Balotelli going close late on before really testing the palms of the keeper. And that was all the game had in store. So that 2-0 win does mean we do book our place in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. We already won it last season against Spurs. Maybe we'll meet them again in the final this year. Or maybe we'll meet them in the semis. I believe Man City won and so did Man United. So I know for sure that the 2 Manchester clubs are still in this. I'm not sure who the other side is, though. So the potential is we've got like a high-end odd that we're going to meet a Manchester side in that semi-final. That's probably going to be the case. So we're just going to wait and see. I mean, I hope it's not Man United because, as you guys know, they are pretty much a bogey team of mine. I don't tend to play very well against them this year. So I'm hoping we don't meet them in this semi-final. But if we do, we do. Whatever happens, happens. Now, after that game, we went away to Turf Moor, to Burnley, a side that in Season 1 was a very tough team to play against. We were the top scoring side in the division alongside Spurs. And goals were flowing, but let's just say, defensively, wasn't really that great. They have Jovetic up front. They've got a youth academy player in goal. Quite glad to see that. Kudos to them, giving youth the opportunity to shine. Then we've got, obviously, the same side for us that played in Game 1 in the 2-0 win against Chelsea. So things were looking very good indeed. It took right until the second half, though, for us to really find a chance. Vinicius Jr., good work here, as he plays it back inside eventually and has the shot, which goes into the bottom corner. You've seen it so many times. That little drag back into a finesse shot is so, so good. And like I said earlier, the questions that were asked about Vinicius Jr. in the last episode, it was as if he heard us, because this episode, he's performing very well indeed. I mean, nobody's questioning his quality. That was never the question. The question was, could he do it when we required him the most in the big games? The likes of Manchester United, when you get a chance in the last minute of the game and have to take it. Can he do that? Nobody's questioning the quality and the talent he's got. It's can he do it when we require him the most? Certainly speaking, he was beginning to perform in this game and the Chelsea game. So I was quite happy for him by all accounts. Martial lays it on a plate. Adrian Rabiot smashes it in for 2-0. 20 minutes to go here at Turf Moor. That was it. I knew at this point we were going to win the game. More importantly, we were going to get ourselves another 3 points and close that gap even further. Right now, there's a lot of sides in this Premier League side that can win it. I mean, there's not just us. We've got Spurs, we've got Man United, we've got Chelsea, City are having a decent season. Liverpool are certainly up there, or were up there. So there's the big teams are still within the shout of this Premier League title. So this one is probably going to be a whole lot more close than the last one was. So I'm expecting a very tough season coming up in this one. Obviously, it is our last, though, so whatever happens, happens. We will be moving on regardless. Even if we don't win the Champions League, even if we don't win the Premier League, we will still be leaving for another team. Really frustrated at this point. This is the defensive bit that I talk about. Cross put in. Eric Bailly puts it back in the danger area. They chest it down, and there is Ruben Neves volleying it in the top corner. I mean, how is he free in our box? That's my problem. How is he able to just get that ball, chest it down, and him then have the time to volley it in the top corner? It really is frustrating. So, at least we got the second. That's all I'm going to say. At least Rabiot scored that second goal to give us the win here. 2-1 lead is what we had, and a 2-1 was the way the game would finish. You can see I just basically held onto the ball for the last few minutes, making sure this win was going to be ours, and it's a very good win indeed. So, from Turf Moor, we get the win. Not an easy place to come, this. A very, very difficult place at times. And for Vinicius Jr., a much better showing today. A much better showing. Expecting more from him in the upcoming few episodes. But that's pretty much going to be how we end today's episode off. A little bit of a shorter one, guys. I have got stuff I need to do today. So at least I'm still going to try and get this video up before I have to actually go. We will hopefully be back tomorrow, though, with a double upload of the My Player Career Mode and the Road to Glory Career Mode. So if you're not already subscribed and you like what you see, that is down below, and make sure you hit it and, you know, get me closer to that 30,000, which is a crazy, crazy number, man. 30,000 people subscribe to the channel. I say it all the time, but I never even expected to get past 10. So thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. Couple more games to come. Inter Milan in the Champions League, followed with, I can't remember who in the Premier League, but a couple of sins. Oh, that was it. Was it Newcastle? Maybe? West Brom? I can't remember. But, yeah. We'd already qualified as group winners at this point in the Champions League, so that game meant absolutely nothing. So I simmed that, and it was Newcastle at home, which we go on to win quite comfortably and get ourselves another 3 points. But that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already to be notified whenever a new video goes live. Leave me a comment, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and I might answer it if you're here early doors. And until next time, stay tuned for more. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully you win at your Sunday League football or whatever sport you guys get up to this weekend. And I'll catch you all again tomorrow. Adios.